All right, that's a special story. Let's be real here. You know, one thing I would like to do myself that hasn't been brought up tonight, but this Sunday happens to be Easter Sunday. And I think that we need to have a little prayer here for Easter Sunday, because believe me, without Jesus Christ, there will be no Donald Trump. Okay? Because I believe he is the one guiding him to do what he has to do to this country. Anyway, how about, please stand for a prayer, please? Thank you. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us to temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Dear Lord, please take care of Donald Trump, because I know you're his guiding hands every day. Thank you. Happy Easter, everybody. All right. Our next speaker has been here before. His name is John Carroll, and he's going to give us some stories on socialism in Ecuador. You got it, John. I didn't recognize the last name other than for Johnny Florida. But anyway.
You're keeping track of the time, right, Andrew? Andrew, you're keeping track of the time? Hey, for everybody that knows me, they're keeping me on the clock, so I can't talk for them. But, thank you. So, 5 years ago, just over 5 years ago, I took a trip to Ecuador. I was on a humanitarian trip with my university, and we went to the capital in Quito. Very beautiful place, very historical. One of the hallmarks for the Jesuits in Latin America. But the worst thing is that Ecuador is one of the most socialist countries in Latin America. We hear about Cuba and we hear about Venezuela, no doubt. But there's always the third one people forget about, and that's President Rafael Correa and Ecuador. And for everybody, I know there's a lot of New Yorkers in here like myself. You guys know about the shanty towns and the shanty villages for homeless people that we see on the turnpikes and everything? You see some here in Florida as well. That was the majority of the capital of Ecuador. There's the historical city districts that's built up. But we stayed at a working boys center that's ran by a priest. And he started it decades back, helping out boys out in the streets so that way they could get educated, get trained up. Now he trains the entire families. Carpentry, sewing and knitting, cooking, automotive, education, schools for the kids. And we went to some of the areas where some of the families that went to the center live. And the entire neighborhoods, we're talking thousands of people, are living in shanty villages put together by anything. And we talked to some of the families in this and trying to find out what it takes for them to get their houses. All the land is a hallmark of socialism. All the land belongs to the government. And they got to save up. It only costs $6,000 for a plot of land, but things are so bad down there that they can only afford, if lucky, to save $100 a month. That's $1,200 a year. That means it takes them 5 years to save up enough to buy the land, let alone building the house. And most of the land they could buy is up in the mountains, which to us we see as a luxury. To them it's impossible because it doesn't mean they have all the construction equipment to get in and try to build the houses. They don't have that many contracting companies for the regular civilians to purchase. We found out that the president, this another hallmark with socialism is they want absolute power and they're threatened if other people have influence. This priest that runs the Senate is in his 70s, potentially his 80s. I don't remember his exact age, but 70s, 80s by the time I met him. And the president was so threatened by him and by the Senate because they did such good work that the president tried to create his own program similar to the center, hoping to take power away from him. The priest doesn't want power. He's one of these people you hear about that he's doing good things, but he doesn't want power. He doesn't want influence. But the people are behind him for all the good work. and the president was threatened by him because if someone else is doing good and it's not under the government control, people can't be dependent on the government. You know, the funny thing about this is the program under Carroll failed miserably, and he ended up shutting it down and had to realize, I'm going to try to make an ally of the priest, which he didn't. He'd come out and make some speeches and he'd do some things, but the priest, to my knowledge, did not want anything to do with the government other than maybe some extra help. And ironically, 2 years after I left, child labor was a big problem in Ecuador. It still is to a point. And 2 years after I left, wow, it was actually 6 years ago, not 5. Because in 2015, the Ecuadorian government came out and showed appreciation to the center for all the work they've done to helping out the people, that they helped contribute to the reduction of child labor in Ecuador. In 2006, it was up to 16%. By the time that they made this announcement, child labor went down to 3%. And the Working Center, you guys can take a look. Even as check it out on Wikipedia, check it out online. It's called the Working Boys Center of Quito, Ecuador. And what this shows is, once again, the government wants to have full power and control. Okay, and I know some people are thinking, okay, it's not a big deal, something like that. Okay, we don't have to worry about too much. But we're hearing right now that politicians want to do away with Medicare, put everything under the government. We're hearing about people wanting to get rid of other fundamental rights because they want the government to control. How am I doing? Okay, so what this is showing is that the government wants full control, and even a priest who's not trying anything is threatened basically by the government, and because the government feels threatened. With the last little bit I just want to close out by saying this. Ecuador was a complete socialist country. It still is to a point. The new president is simmering it down a little, but it's still there. But ironically, for one of the most socialist countries, in 2000, their money, the super, was so worthless that they had to abandon it. What have they been using as their currency? Does anybody know? Since 2000, even under the regime of socialism, does anybody know what they use as their currency? Right there. This. They consider us to be evil. Rafael Correa was best friends with Chavez and with Fidel, and he can't stand the U.S., but guess what? Ecuador is one of the, along with Panama, and there's a couple of micronations, but Ecuador is one of the biggest countries on the planet. They don't have their own currency. They consider capitalism evil, but they use our dollar. And they want to say that we're a problem. We're the reason they're not collapsed completely. They were on the verge of collapse and then switched to us. So capitalism, once again, is saving a socialist country. So just wanted to point that out and be grateful for this, because even socialists need capitalists sometimes, and even socialists need America. So, thank you.